All right, welcome everybody to the first Streets New Capenna draft on the Limited Love Lips YouTube channel. It took a while for us to get around to drafting the set, but we're gonna see if we can pump a few of these out in the next little while. We opened one of the actual best rares in the set, so that's pretty nice. So there's a very small list of cards that I would take over Inspiring Overseer, right? The mythic common of the set, 2-1 flyer, draw a card, gain a life. Elspeth happens to be on that list. There isn't a Overseer in this pack, but I would take Elspeth over that card. Very small list. Anyways, we'll be highlighting that. We'll be taking that. Past that, Cleanup Crew is pretty good. Celestial Regulator, I like a lot. Adjudicator is the best of these family fixers, the best in the cycle. Lands are fine here too. I don't love taking lands early. I like taking the powerful cards before the lands. But yeah, I mean, we're thrilled about this here. One of the things to note, I think, actually, about Cleanup Crew, I should talk about this card quickly, because I've had some questions about it, is, so as this format's played out, it's pretty fast, right? You want to have a 2-on-2, you want to have a 3-on-3. And a lot of times people go, oh, if you want, it's a fast format, you want to have a 2-on-2, a 3-on-3, you can't play expensive cards, right? Or pushes you away from playing expensive cards. Does that mean Cleanup Crew is bad? Well, the way I think about it often is that in faster formats, the cheap cards are kind of the barrier to entry, or kind of like the entrance fee. Once you have the cheap cards in your deck, you know, your opponent and you have come to the agreement, I'm coming to the table, I play a 2-on-2, I play a 3-on-3, now the game starts. That means that expensive cards actually do get a little bit better at that point in the game, right? It's just like, by the way, I should highlight a card here. I'm going to take Rafine's Informant, which is awesome, over Hearst. But like, once everybody kind of played out their 2s and 3s, you do still want some powerful cards. You just have to make sure you have those 2s and 3s first. This pack here, Informant is fantastic. It's just a bit worse than Inspiring Overseer. It's kind of Inspiring Overseer at home, but Inspiring Overseer at home is still really good. I actually have this as my second best comment in the set. Starting White is great. I love starting White if I can. I think it's the best color. And yeah, 2 drops, like I was just saying, are super important. So super happy to take this, especially after Elspeth. Unlicensed Hearst is one that is interesting to talk about. I probably should have talked about it a little more. I found that card should be medium. There's a lot of games that are just too slow for it. If your opponent, if the game goes long and you know, your opponent draws it late and they start activating, it can be kind of a pain. And it's colorless, so that's nice early, but I haven't found the card to be all that impressive. Okay, this pick is nice, and I say it's nice because we have the choice between 2 premium commons here, or sorry, uncommons here, in Pickpocket and Fairy Vandal. Vandal plays really well with Informants, alright, just Conniving. I like both these cards a lot. I do think Pickpocket is a little bit better, but just slightly. And, you know, I have an Elspeth in the pile, which, you know, I have a 5. I don't want too many 5s, but Pickpocket's kind of just like a premium uncommon, a premium 5. This thing is so good because there's not a ton of plays that catch you up in the format, especially when your opponent's taking it off some really nasty curve outs. And this is one of the really, really good ones. Really puts them back and puts you back into the game. So, yep, I'm into that here, and a little sad to be passing the Vandal, but that's okay. Murder of note as well in this pack here. I think Murder, at least in, you know, higher rankings, higher, you know, Mythic and Diamond and stuff, I think actually isn't super well positioned right now, where everybody in those rankings, or everybody in those tiers, are just drafting Bant. So like Murder and Strangle line up pretty darn poorly against shield counters. Stuff like Hold for Ransom, which is the pacifism, and Run Out of Town tend to just be better. So I don't take Murder all that highly. I take it like if I can get it, and maybe in pack 3 or 2 if I know I'm black, but I don't draft it very highly. Couple that with the fact that I really want to be in blue and white or green, so that's part of it too. Okay, so this pack we've got Cabaret Courtyard, which is just like a green-white land. I'm discounting the red part of that for a minute, but we could take that. I'm actually just gonna take Skycryer here. You know, I was just saying how important it is to have 2 drops, and Skycryer is a fine one. Like, it's not a fantastic one in a vacuum, but any way to pump this, whether that be you know, a Darling of the Masses, or putting a counter on it from backup page, it really makes it a lot better. Like, if turning this into a 2/2 lifelink is pretty darn good, and the ability on this is something that I think a lot of people have come to, you know, they've said a lot to me, hey, I've been activating this way more often than I thought I would, and yeah, you do, I think anytime you are, your opponent has more cards than you, activate it, right? Anytime that, you know, you have no cards in hand, activate it most of the time, unless you're really ahead on board. I think it's just kind of like not so bad to activate this. It's not that hard to break parity with it. Or there's a lot of situations where activating it will help you break parity, I should say. I'm going to take Throng here, by the way. Throng is awesome. I'm happy with 2 of these cards. Picking up the first one is always a bit like, oh, do I have to take the Throng here, right? Because you're like, oh, what if I never see another one? But it's pretty likely you see another one. 2 is great. Or 2 is good. 3 is great. 4 is, you know, the sweet spot. I think once you get past that, well, it's kind of funny. I was gonna say it's a little bit dicey, but I don't even think that's true because I was kind of like of the opinion where it's like, well, if I draw 2 Throngs in my opening hand, don't I feel pretty bad about that? And then I had situations where my opponent like played their Throng on 3 and got like 4 Throngs, then another Throng after that, and I was kind of like, well, in that situation, if they had one of the Throngs in their opening hand, I still have to face like 5 Throngs, so I think it's just fine to have as many of these as you can get. This pick I'm going to take Make Disappear, by the way, over Girder Goons. I like Girder Goons. I really like Make Disappear, and I think Blue-White is the best deck by a good margin. So I'm going to take a blue card over a black card, and Make Disappear is just fantastic in this format. It lines up really well against, any Blitz creatures, any ETB creatures. It's kind of a makeshift 2 if you need a 2, right? Kind of fills in for your 2-drop. Also, just like, if you're ahead, counter spells are really good, and it's very easy in these blue-white decks to like get ahead, stay ahead. So just being able to go like cheap flyer into cheap flyer, or just good threat, hold it, Make Disappear, really puts your opponent in a really rough spot. So I like the card quite a bit. I won't take a second copy here. I'll take Broker's Hideout. Taking those lands are nice, especially if we do end up playing some green cards. I'm hoping just to be 2 colors in this format most of the time, but taking these lands early is never bad. Okay, Speakeasy Server, totally fine card. I don't love it out of this pack. I think it is like the 3rd best card, honestly. Warm Welcome and Requisitioner being a little bit better. But I think I am probably... I mean, I could take this because Green-White's also a good deck, and I've already got 2 good 5s. But I think I'll still play like this as another pretty decent 5. It's not the most amazing card in the world, but it's definitely solid. Okay, so this is the pack. This is our wheel pack, and the briefcase came back. I don't think this card is awesome, by the way. It's okay. It's much, I think it kind of is a callback-ish to Prosperous Innkeeper. I think this card is quite a bit worse than that. You're replacing the life gain with this 5-mana ability, which doesn't come up often. You do get the Citizen, which matters, but I don't think I'm going to take it here. I'm just going to take another blue-white land. We could, as much as, Bant is the hotness, I think I'm just going to take a Maestro's Theater here. As much as Bant is the hotness, I've been fine being, like, any base white combination. Like, Esper is pretty good, too. I think that I've had black-white decks, honestly, that have been pretty good. And if we're in that space, then Maestro's Theater is good as a blue-black land. All right, and we'll just take Glamorous Outlaw. Not the most exciting pick, but we will take that. The Cabaret Courtyard. That's actually kind of a nice one. Yeah, it's a green-white duel. I like it better than Dig Up the Body here. And, all right, not much. Broken Wings is kind of one I should probably talk about, too. Actually, I might just take that here over the Butler. I've had a lot of people say, okay, well, I've gotten beaten by Rabble-Rousing and the Broker's Ascendancy, and there's a lot of flyers in the format. Should I be taking, should I be playing Broken Wings? And I don't think so still. Like, there's enough of the format that it lines up poorly against that, yeah, sometimes you're going to lose those enchantments, but I don't think there's enough. I think it lines up poorly enough against enough decks that it's just minus EV to put the card in your deck in general. Like, you could play it as a bad 23rd card or like a situational 23rd card that you might get lucky with, but I don't think it's great. Okay, so now we have Depopulate, which I don't think I'll be taking here. I think I'm probably just going to be taking Girder Goons, kind of moving into that Esper space. Depopulate is... So, a lot of the time in this format, one of the problems with this Wrath... There's good Wraths and not so good Wraths, but this one where it's very hard to break the symmetry on and often your opponent draws a card, you Wrath early or you Wrath on 4, and there's just enough value stuff. Like, your opponent plays a Fiend's Informant into a Throng, and like, you're kind of like, well, I kind of just have to Wrath, and you don't feel like you got that much value out of it. Like, maybe you got kind of a pseudo 2-for-1. On tempo on board, you killed their stuff. But it's not like a back-breaking Wrath by any means, right? And also shield counters kind of put a damper on it. There's the Maestro's Wrath, Hostile Overtake, either Takeover or whatever. That card is really good because you can break symmetry on it. You can keep your stuff, kill their stuff. But I think Depopulate, it's a low EV proposition too much of the time. They draw a card too often, and also it's just like too awkward a lot of the time. Especially your white decks are super heavy creature decks so much of the time that you just don't want to cast it a percentage of the time, which is unfortunate. All right, I'm going to take Crowbar here. Crowbar is fantastic. I think it might even be better than Wrath Fiend's Informant as a 2-drop. Like, this card is premium, but this one might even be a little bit better. Like, I was just talking about how I don't love main decking Broken Wings in this format because, it's too bad too much of the time. But this is a very main deckable version of this card, or a very main deckable Enchantment Hate card that you just feel good about putting in your deck. And the equipment's also very good. Okay, well, this is a very interesting pick. So we got Fight Rigging. I actually had to say double take here. As I was talking about this, I didn't realize what cards we got past. We've got Fight Rigging, which is good, but not better than Inspiring Overseer. So Overseer is a card that, it's the mythic uncommon in this set. I think it's correct to take this card over everything except for, like, no, I'm just talking about that pick between this and Elspeth. There's like 5 cards in the set I would take over Inspiring Overseer, pick one, pack one. And Fight Ranking is not on that list, so I will take Overseer, especially because we're deep into white. I also like Mage's Intended, but not as much as Overseer. All right, Gathering Strong number 2. I'll take that. I really like Echoing Spectre too. Oh, there's also a Knockout Blow. I actually missed that, huh? Well, so this is close. I think I still take the Throng because locking in that second Throng is nice. Echoing Spectre is great as well, but I'm just going to take a white card if I can. Knockout Blow, we don't have any interaction just yet, which is not, the end of the world. I think it's perfectly reasonable we pick up some interaction at some point. One of the better interaction spells for sure. But I think being halfway through the draft, I have some faith that we'll see some more, especially with white being, I think fairly open. So I want to lock in the second Throng, I think. Okay, so now we see Buyer Silence and Witness Protection, which are, fairly medium interaction spells. I actually don't hate Witness Protection if I have a lot of flyers and I'm lacking interaction otherwise in my blue-white decks. I think it's fine there. So I could take that here. I also don't mind Rakish Revelers in, a green-white deck. Just making a citizen is nice. If you pick up a few red sources incidentally, you can put those in your deck. Maybe you pick up a Cavalry Charm, which is actually a pretty good splash card in green-white. So that's on my radar here. I don't like Exterior Charm very much. I think it's pretty darn medium, honestly. So I think I'm going to take the Revelers and, again, kind of hope to pick up some better interaction as we go. Okay, there's another Make Disappear. I'll take that here. This, I was saying we don't have interaction, but Make Disappear kind of does count. We do have one of those. And we also had Psychic Pickpocket, so maybe I was I was talking down how much interaction we actually had. So I'm happy to take this here over the second Speakeasy server. Ooh, I really, really like Majestic Metamorphosis. This is one of the premium, it's weird to call this card premium, but, for anybody who played Neon Dynasty, you know how good Suit Up was. I actually think this might be better than Suit Up. It's kind of weird to say, but the fact that when you put it on a creature with a +1/+1 counter, it gets +5/+5 is big. The fact that you can close out a game with this, just go send this to the air, getcha. That's pretty big. But there's fewer incentives for your opponent to actually just straight up, want to block, as in there's no ninjas or anything. But because it's a pretty hostile format and your opponent has to block, especially if they're just on the draw, that's kind of their incentive to block anyways. They have to block so they don't die. So this card kind of, gets its man no matter what. Either on turn 3, second one is nice there. On turn 3 when you just get your nice 2-for-1, or later in the game where you just cycle it and get him for a bunch of damage. Okay, so now we have a Bad Trick or Guidance or these. I think I'm just gonna take another server. That's totally fine here. Paragon, in case we pick up what's her name, Giada, as our rare. Just take an angel here. All right, another land. So back to what okay for us, not amazing. Oh, I really like Revelation of Power, actually, by the way. Kind of a combo with Metamorphosis. You can actually do some pretty sick combo turns where you just kill them out of nowhere, or have a gigantic life swing out of nowhere. So that's a nice pickup. Our open here, we get Sleep of the Fishes or Celestial Regulator. I like Ballroom Brawlers a lot too. It's a fine card, but we've already got more than enough 5s. I don't need another 5-drop. So really it's between Regulator and Sleep of the Fishes. I think if I had more Raffine's Informants, so I could enable this on 3 more, or just more often, I would take it here. But I think this just is a premium interaction spell that also makes a 1/1 just really, really good. This is just one of the best interaction spells in the format. But yeah, I think I would take the cheaper card if I knew I could get the tap down and lock down more often. There's a small chance Regulator comes back. I think it's unlikely, but it's a very small chance. All right, here I'll take the Witness Protection. Again, not in love with it, but this is a weak pack. I could take Girdergans too. And let's see, we're at 10. If we take these cards out, we are at 10, not even 8 spells and 8 creatures. So there's a consideration for taking this, and we've got blue-white land, or blue-white-black, and a blue-white land and a blue-black land. So maybe we do just take this instead and hope this comes back around, because there is the slight concern of not making playables just yet. We have to pick up 7 cards, which isn't insane. Yeah, I'm going to take the protection just because I think I value good mana over everything in this format pretty much. But I could see me, regretting that pick in a few picks here. All right, now we have Xander's Lounge, which is another card that could help us splash the Girder Goons here. I'll just have a kill shot, which is fine. Kill shot gets better when you have a lot of cheap flyers, or just like flyers in general, because you don't want this card when you're attacking on the ground, but when you're attacking in the air, it's pretty good. There's Quasar, but I think this card's fine, not amazing. I'm not super into splashing it just yet. I think our creature base is solid still. I mean, maybe I could. Maybe kill shot's just like medium enough and we'll get it back. Yeah, you know what? Let's go for the fun pick. Whatever. I'll take Quasar. All right, now we get another crowbar. That's great. Locking another 2-drops, great. Love that. Okay, so another blue-black land we can take here. Nimble Arsonist has been pretty uninspiring, honestly. Like, you miss a lot of the time with this card, unfortunately. It's just like, you know, the times you miss, it's really bad. You're just playing a 3-color 2/1 flyer. And times you hit, it's good for sure, but I don't think it quite makes it for the times you miss. And I don't like Rumor Gatherer that much. I think it's pretty low impact. It's like 3 mana 2/1. You draw a card off this very infrequently, so I'll just take a blue-black land here. Okay. Yeah, Runner sounds good. I think this card is pretty underrated by just the community at large currently still. Maybe that'll change in the coming days, but I think this effect is generally underrated. I think this is people look at this and go like, oh, I put it on top of their library. They get their card back. Unless that card is like a bomb, like an awesome card, you just like you appreciate the tempo of just putting it back on top. And yeah, maybe they redraw their creature, and maybe you have to put on a speakeasy server on top, which is unfortunate. But it's basically a removal spell. It's still a 1-for-1, and a lot of the time you're targeting something that they have to put on the bottom anyways because it just isn't good enough in the current game state, and they can't redraw it. Okay, picking up a nuisance is nice here. We've got a few good things to sacrifice, not a ton, but I do like this card when I have good things to sacrifice. These cards in general, the casualty cards, how good they are very much a function of how good my fodder is, right? If I've got good fodder in my deck, they're good. If I don't have good fodder in my deck, they're bad, right? So I think we're like just on the cusp of having enough fodder with the 2 crowbars and so I'm going to take Dragoons here and Sleep with Fishes, which isn't the best thing to sacrifice, I suppose, but it might make the cut. Quick Draw Dagger is kind of one that has been getting some hype. I might take it here. Dagger is best when you're attacking on the ground and your opponent has to block early, and we're doing that a decent amount, so let's take that. I think that might make the cut here. And, okay, Dragoons comes back, so we'll see. We'll see how Esper we are. I think we're probably going to have to play some black cards, which is not ideal. I would prefer to not be in this spot. But we've got 3 blue-black lands, so it's not too bad, actually. 4 blue-black lands. All right. And I think that's just our deck here. So it ended up okay. We had a really good start. Elspeth into a bunch of good white cards, and it kind of tapered off from there. But still, you know, nothing I can complain about. Although I guess I just did. Okay, so working on the mana base here. We've got 3 black cards, and if we just play 1 swamp, which is ideal, I would prefer not to play multiple swamps, and we go up a white source, that means we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blue. That's good. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8 white. That's a little low. So we go down a blue and up a white. And then black sources, we've got 1, 2, 3, so 5 black sources. That's a little bit low for 3 cards. So I could include another black source, take out the plains. I think that's reasonable. So then we're at like 6, 7, 8 plains, 4, 5, 6, 10 blue sources, and then 6 black sources. Yeah, that's not so bad. I could even probably go down another blue source and up a plains because we've got all this early white. It's pretty close though. We're kind of split. So I guess that pushes towards more white. We're more split because we have fewer white sources. Okay, let's give this a spin. I think if I'm to give this deck a preemptive rating, it's like a 7 out of 10. Like, yeah, we've got Elspeth, which is good. We've got an Inspiring Overseer, which is good. But would have liked a few more 2s, and obviously would like to not be splashing, ideally, which is weird to say in this supposed 3-color set. All right, in to the first round here. Okay, yeah, I mean, any hand with Inspiring Overseer is a good hand. Our mana is awkward here, and very interesting sequencing going on here. Land sequencing is something really tricky in this format. So there's a lot of fighting tensions here, and hopefully I don't time out talking about this, but I kind of want to play... I want to play this, but I don't know if I should get blue or black, right? Because I have more blue sources in the deck. I don't know if I'm going to be drawing one. Often you want to hold your fetches until, like, as late as possible. But I think I also want to have either Make Disappear up or Crowbar on two. So I think I'm just going to play this and get a blue source. It's awkward that we have 2 black cards in hand. Like, if I had maybe 1 black card in hand, I think it's easily get a blue source, but... okay, so that's nice. We just draw a third land, and we're just going to go Crowbar. Crowbar into the Overseer, and hope this makes Disappear snag something good. A lot of the time, I'll just not play... I will just not play my fetch land on 1, right? And if it doesn't interrupt my my curve... Uh-oh. Counter? Don't counter it. No! Oh, poof, okay, just Fairy Vandal. I can handle that. If it doesn't interrupt my my curve... Just hold your fetch land. Like, sometimes you're like, oh, I don't have a 2 in my hand, so I can hold it, and then you draw your 2, and it's a little bit awkward. I think it's more acceptable to have awkward mana than it is to, like, or have an awkward curve out situation than it is to just straight up not, they're gonna go Metamorph, yeah. Not be able to cast your cards. Okay, so that's an okay use of their turn for us. We don't mind that. I'm just gonna go Witness Protection on this. Still gonna be a 2/2, which sucks, but it'll stop growing. We can get in, and then we can counter their next play. We're already seeing the awkwardness a little bit here. Like, I would love to have blitzed Girder Goons, and, you know, drawing 2 islands was unfortunate. Not unfortunate, it's good that we drew them. But, you know, unfortunately we didn't draw a black source, really. Alright. Yeah, they bash. Ooh. Hi, how's it going? I think if they had... Okay, so they could have Disdainful Stroke, right? That's something. So you could be ultra conservative and not jam this, but that's a coward play. Alright. They did have to Make Disappear. I was thinking they might not have Make Disappear, because I felt like if they had Make Disappear, they would counter the Overseer, but they might have just drawn it too, right? That's possible. Alright. We're still doing alright here. We blinked first. We can't play our Make Disappear, unfortunately, but I think we're still doing okay. Especially if we do draw a black source. Like, being able to peck in some damage here and then drain them out with Quasar. Still a pretty good plan. Because the alternative to what we did there is, like, we hold a Make Disappear and then they just start playing cheap cards. And that's just, like, not good for us either, really. Let's trade with this thing. Pets, sure. Alright, so we are on the back foot. That's gonna be okay. It's a little bit slow, but gonna be okay for them. We have a 3-turn clock, which is nice. And if we draw a, oh, sorry, 4-turn clock. And if we draw a Swamp, it's a 3-turn clock. Skycry. Okay, now it's a shorter clock. So I'm gonna play the Skycrier instead of holding up Make Disappear. Yep, get in. Is that true, though? Am I gonna do that? Yeah, I think so, because there's just like enough, again, there's just like enough cheap things that at this point in the game where Make Disappear is a little bit awkward. I don't have enough sacrifice fodder to, like, I don't have any creatures on board to be able to sacrifice to make it counter for 4. So we're just gonna jam that and hope that we can outrace them here. And we're already kind of seeing, like, the mana situation being, you know, like, we have what I would describe as like a pretty, I think I'm actually just gonna trade here, pretty fine, good mana base. Like, it's not a bad mana base by any means. We have 5 lands, right? But it's still punishing, right? It's still punishing to have to go get a blue off this because we're not sure exactly what we're going to draw. And we're stuck with these cards in hand that we can't cast. So, you know, really just want to highlight and really make sure people are taking in just how painful it is to splash even just a few cards. Okay, Environment was a good draw. Metamorphosis also a good draw. So let's pitch. Oh, what do we pitch? We have lethal next turn. So I think we pitch Girder Goons here. Maybe Quasar. Yeah, probably Quasar. Quasar's just slow. Let's get in. Hope they don't have anything to blow us out at some point here. But if both these creatures survive, we do have lethal with the Metamorphosis. Or if they attack and we draw blue source, we have lethal there. Oh, sorry, black source. Run of town. Yeah, that is getting countered. Alright. What do you got, opponent? This is a 4, so they can attack for 4. Not lethal, even if they draw a 2-power creature, luckily. I would have liked to have protection. Make disappear up when I go to cast this, but what can you do? Security bypass? Alright. That ain't it. That's not gonna help them, luckily. I guess they gotta loot in if they need that. Ooh, they're playing scared. I like it. At least playing conservative. I don't know if I'll say playing scared, but... Okay. 1 card in hand. Just cast it. They didn't just cast it? Unlucky. Okay, well, I mean, so now... If we go for it and they have something... we take 4... We still don't take lethal, right? I guess we take lethal if they draw a 2-drop as well. So if they draw a 2-drop... I'm gonna play this in the deck a little bit. If they play a 2-power creature to crew this, and they have an interaction spell in hand to not die, yeah, we lose. But we still have lethal next turn anyways if they don't do that. So let's go for this. Oh, Crowbar is actually pretty good too. Okay, nice, we got there, yeah. These games, man, they're always so tight in this format. Always comes down to racing like that, I feel. It's just like such tense moments where you're like, well, I could go for it this turn, and if they have it, they have it. Or if not, we win. So, all right, on to the next. Okay, next game here. And, yeah, solid. I mean, I would like to hit some lands here. Ideally 3 into 4. But it's good. And I feel good about the opponent mulliganing too, of course. Oh, I should talk about Revelation of Power a little bit. I don't know if I talked about this in the draft. But... It's a kind of a I would liken it to like Run Amok, that level of combat trick, if you remember from Call Time, where it's like it's not just a combat trick. You can kind of plan your entire game around it, where your opponent doesn't expect like you to launch something in the air and get the last few points, or if you have a giant life swing. So often, like, this is a card I want 2 of a lot of the time, honestly, in my deck. Ooh, Sticky Fingers, okay. It's really, really backbreaking when, again, like I was saying, a lot of these games are about races, and it's really backbreaking when you can just, 2 mana, swap the race in your favor completely. Okay, land is good here. That makes me feel good. So I actually think I'm just going to try to block here. Try to Metamorphosis and block here. There's ways that can go wrong, but there's not a ton of instant speed removal. There's Murder and there's Deal Gone Bad, of course, but if that happens, that happens. I think it's just too bad to attack and have them, attack us back for 3. And we do want to cycle to draw land here. So I could have also cycled on my turn, draw land. That's also reasonable. And maybe that's just better, right? Maybe just get in for 4, cycle draw land when they're pseudo tapped out, or maybe they were just fully tapped out. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yep. They're being conservative, so now we're just going to cycle this on there. So we missed out on 4 points of life, I suppose. Plasma Jockey, non-blitzed. Okay. So yeah, let's do this. Yeah, hit the land drop. We sleep with the fishes on that. They can sacrifice, but that's fine. I don't mind that. I'd just rather not be hit for, all that damage this turn, this current turn. They want to sacrifice, use their turn. That's okay. Oh, no Nightclubber one time, please. Okay. So they have something to play here that's, substantial. Oh, Grizzly Sigil? Gross. Gross. Okay, it's not Grizzly Sigil, thank goodness. It's still not great for us, but it's better than them having Grizzly Sigil. Okay. We good. So now we can, we have some options here. We can either play Speakeasy Server, which I think we will after they, well, I still can't block anything really here. So we could Server, or we could just bounce the Body Dropper. That's probably a little bit better. Just to bounce the Body Dropper. Server doesn't block here. It gains us 2 life, and then we can crack back. Yeah, let's just off the body dropper. So we also get this take this turn to go fetch a black source. All right. Would like to draw a creature with a counter so that I can like gain a lot of life here. I guess the metamorphosis is good at some point here as well, but okay. So yep, run you out of town. Quick draw. Oh, they're just pushing. They're just pushing. All right. They put the body dropper on top. Okay, so we're gonna gain 2 this turn. Oh. Oh. Does it give lifelink? Sure does. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. So we gain 2, and then next turn we can go Elspeth, give the Speakeasy server lifelink. We also gain 1 there. Actually, can we set up lethal next turn? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very close. Not quite. Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. They can't sack it, though, which is nice. I'm surprised they didn't go body dropper, actually. Oh, they can sack her. Crap. They have the 2 mana from the sticky fingers. That's right. Okay, okay. We're in a little trouble now. Just, like, slight trouble. We still have this Metamorphosis plus Revelation, which is really, really good for us, but we could be, we could fall behind here easily. Oh, Pickpocket? Yeah, that's pretty good. So now we can block this thing. So we get it for 1. We Pickpocket this. We could even try to hit a land. Yeah, that's kind of nice. Okay, let's do that. And then Elspeth, Overseer, right? Elspeth can give this lifelink. So what do we do here? What do we do? Well, we discard. Are we casting Elspeth next turn is the question. Because I think it's not crazy to discard her here. We get it for a point with the Crier. And then we can block the Cutthroat. Can we set up lethal next turn? Is the question. I keep asking that, but okay. I think I pitch. This now gives is a okay. I think I pitch Metamorphosis now that we have the Pickpocket, because Pickpocket is a creature now with a counter on it. So we can actually like the thing I wanted to keep Metamorphosis for was to give a big lifelink swing to this, but now that we have a creature with a counter on it, we can just cheaply give lifelink. Although, maybe this was bad. No, this was bad, because I could just set up lethal. I literally asked, can I set up lethal? And then I didn't follow through with it, because we could set up lethal. So, yeah, that was a punt on my part. Right, we just go +4/+4, or, yeah, make this a 4, jump this. No, I don't think we actually have much of a problem, but it's not ideal. Okay, they're going to attack with that. Yeah, I'll trade my fish for a Gold Hound. Sack. Witness Protection ain't bad. Okay, so now we go Overseer, tapping black because we don't need black this turn. Gaining life is nice. Gain another life. All right, and now 5, 6, 7. So I think we should just gain 6 here. Then this only makes this one. Yeah, this is where Witness Protection is awkward. Whenever they have a counter or anything, it just makes this, you know, one smaller. Yeah, I'll just do this. I suppose I could have enticed him into a block. That was probably a little bit better. All right. We should be fine now. I imagine it's going to be hard to lose from this position. Even if they have another employment. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that game took more brain power than it should have from me, but we got there. Okay, yeah, great hand. Great hand. And this is thankfully a non-painful mana situation where we know we can just go get black, and we're going to be able to play the informant, and yada, yada, yada. I guess not getting double white. Oh, I guess this can't get white anyways, but say this was the obscure one. That is still, you know, somewhat of a cost. Not being able to get double white with Elspeth in our deck, but... Alright, won't be discarding that one. I think I'm just going to discard... So against white, I mean, you know, not a ton of information here, but... Against the plains, do I like Revelation of Power or Make Disappear better? I think I'm going to be curving out for a while. So this Make Disappear probably is just worse than Revelation of Power. I'm just not going to be able to cast this on curve. And it's, you know, not dead late game, certainly, but gets a little bit worse. Alright, so we have the option of casting Throng, going to get the other Throng to make sure that we don't draw the other Throng. I think I'm going to do that. I think I will also attack. No, that's not true. I'm not going to attack because it is pretty valuable to keep my counter creature around when I've got Revelation of Power. Yeah, I also got like Flyers and Quasar. Like, I'm fine not attacking. They'd probably just trade anyways. They're on the draw, and this informant is a better trade with the Throng. Oh, okay. Well, Spider-Man meme. Just twinning over here. Let's see how many Throngs they get. Okay, they get 2. One more than me. At least we have an X4. X4 means that their Throngs are kind of blanked, luckily. Yeah, this is fine. I'm not going to use the Metamorphosis this turn. Alright, play Maestro's Theater. Very similar deck to ours, it seems. Pretty happy if their turn is just, like, the best thing they're doing is Throng this turn. So being able to go, like, Overseer, potentially even draw into a land, and maybe we can attack with this is pretty nice. Or, sorry, attack with Quasar. Because I still don't think I'm going to be attacking with this, because this is a nice little wombo combo with anything with the counter. Or just in general, right? To lose. Okay, that's fine. I guess they to lose into a... They put a counter on this. And then I can't freely attack with this, because they're just going to block. Duskman, Glow underneath. Okay, okay. So yeah, I think now we want to just set up some evasion. Ooh, Girder Goons. Well, maybe we actually just set up that. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. I was going to say set up some evasion, then chip damage them out, and then, you know, blast to the sky with this. But this is a good plan, too. Yeah, especially if we can get into a big chip before there. That's worth it. We can also drain from the Quasar. We draw a card. Yeah. All great stuff. All great stuff. I think this format, like, is all about positioning yourself. And this is just, like, maybe a limited generality, but I felt it more so in this format. All about positioning yourself to, like, get ahead, stay ahead, get in some chip damage, and then really just punish them with, you know, stuff like Metamorphosis and Revelation of Power. Chip damage them with some Flyers. So, anytime I can, like, exchange some mana for some life in the early game, I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, so... Yeah, let's cast Overseer. Oh, I shouldn't have played my land. That was bad of me. Because I have multiple tap lands in the deck. I still might have played non-tap land, because keeping this up, like, has some amount of value, but... Alright, Elspeth's obviously great. Alright, opponent. What do you got? Rooftop Nuisance, also a pretty good draw. It's a double drain, and, you know, if they start to get frisky with some attacks here. Yeah, I'll just take 2. Or take 4. We're 26. Life gain's really important in fast formats, just like instant life gain, because you can just afford to, like, if I wasn't at 26, I might have to block this. At least, maybe not now, but at some point, right? Well, that's funny. A little Numba with Lackey there, awkward. And like having the flexibility or the privilege, I guess, of not needing to trade off and keep my creatures so that I can then like kill them with these kind of things is really nice. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna protection this thing. I could Elspeth, but I think just protection, get him with this. Like at this point, I don't think Elspeth is actually that critical for me winning this game. I think I'm just gonna try to like win next turn. Honestly, we just hopefully they tap out to some degree. We're gonna draw an extra card. We go, and then we can do the wombo combo of these two on our informant. Okay, and Fire Overseer. That's fine still. We can nuisance that if we want to. Nip to lose, sure. I think they should attack with their informant here. Oh, I have a Throng, so maybe not. That's not true. Okay, so they attack with this to lose, and I could just trade here, and then if they cast Duskmangler next turn, we just win. So there's this weird. I actually kind of want to do that because if we can tap down this Overseer, get in, and then like not trick them into casting Duskmangler, but I would actively like them to cast Duskmangler here or next turn. So I actually think I do block here because them casting Mangler is kind of enticing probably for them. All right, Throng. I guess if we draw Blue Source, do we just win? It's 5. Yeah, I think we just win. Yeah, okay. So now we just go nuisance this and everything. Nothing matters here. Oh, I need to do that twice. Did I mess this up? Did I mess the math up? No, I didn't because we dropped this too. It's okay. All right. And oh, I didn't. No, I did mess the math up. Crap. Whoops. Okay, well, we win on our upkeep if they can't get rid of this. And even if they can, I think we should be fine. Like if they just cast Duskmangler, okay, yeah. So I obviously should have nuisance sacrificing something to guarantee the win, but it's all good. All right, yep. Pretty decent hand. On the draw with no 2, but Inspiring Overseer heals all ailments. We'll make disappear. All right, well, we can draw Blue Source. That's a nice little thing to catch us up on the draw here. All right, did not. Nothing. Just nothing, eh? Okay. They might be missing a source of mana. Or they just might have like Girdergoon.deck hand. Yeah. Looks like that might be it. All right. Take it. Girdergoon.hand. Ugh. All right. Not great. Not great. Get in. Oh, you know what? I should have equipped here because I don't think I'm trading off here. No, I still will, actually. I was going to say I don't want to trade off because I have this, but it's fine. It's fine to trade off here. I gain more virtual life than I would have by, you know, keeping it alive and playing the server. Initiate. Okay. 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 Yes, please. Thank you. I'll give you lifelink. I think lifelink is good. I could give it first strike too, and then I don't die. Yeah, maybe I should just give him first strike, and then this doesn't die to strangle. Yeah. Maybe I was a bit hasty there. Hey, watch the rough house. Yep, looks like. Looks like. All right. Well, I'm still happy with our position, but arguably that was a misplay. Kill it. I actually probably should have attacked first, because I might have been able to sneak in 3 damage there. I was thinking, you know, if they attack or if I attack, I want to do this pre-combat before they kill it, but they're just gonna kill it in response to the instant speed removal spell. That would only be relevant against like a white deck, right? That has like destroy target attacker. Okay, pitch. Pitch make disappear at this point. Okay. Blue source. Slightly scary. Slightly scary. So let's go here. I think I'm just gonna bash for 4 here. I don't think I want to let them filter. Run into town. Yeah, that's fine. I'll put it on top. I also don't want to play this now. Okay. I'll also small note about these lands that you should take into account. You want to play these main 2 generally. I don't even know if I've been doing it, but you generally want to play these main 2 so that if they have something, a removal spell like that, they don't get to kill us for good. Like I have the option of putting it on top. 2 bottom. Okay, so if we do this, it's gonna become a what, a 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so not quite enough. Not quite enough. I sort of want to just cycle this anyways, though. Okay, maybe we just do that next turn. Not a huge deal. Yeah, and I'm not too worried about taking 5. There's a thought that says I should just get in now with this so that they don't have an interaction spell and I just guarantee 7 damage. That's a reasonable thought, I think. I think that's a thought. But I'm actually just gonna hold. I think it's fine to wait. Maybe if it was lethal the turn after without having to cast this, like I just had to attack with this, I would maybe do that, but they also could have hostile takeover, which is a reason to keep this. Looks like they have that. Oh, no, they don't. They're like hovering over mine and hovering over theirs. Oh, they have the combo. They just naturally drew into the combo? They can play both too, right? Yeah, you may play those cards. All right, yeah, sure. You got me. Okay. I guess the nice thing here is we might be able to eat this Glamorous Outlaw. Right, we may be able to, they attack, we get to Revelation. Though, do I even want to do that? I think I do, yeah. I think that's a lot. That's a bit too much damage for my tastes here. Right, the Body Dropper. Oh, Auto Tapper got them, no? Oh no. Oh no, it wasn't Auto Tapper. They couldn't. Oh, something weird happened. I think they could have. There's a way they could do this, but. Okay, light them was fine. Oh, they sacrificed. Yeah, sure. Okay, that's good for them. That's a really good exchange. Okay, yeah, now we're in some trouble. I mean, I can witness this. That's not so great. I can witness this, but then they sacrifice. Okay, so we make this a 2/2, right? Bash for 5. I could also just cycle this Metamorph. I think I would need to do that, yeah. Alright, yep. I'm gonna make this a 1 power thing, I think. Well... No, I should probably get rid of the ability to sacrifice. Alright. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Body Dropper number 2. Alright, we need something good here. Girder Goons... Well, not good enough, right? Because I'm at 7? Okay, it's not bad, though. Yeah, it's actually okay. They can, like, sack, menace over the course of 2 turns. But that's not terrible. They might even just sack now to activate the Maestro's Initiate, or sacrifice here. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe I was supposed to blitz there, honestly, and hope to draw something. I think that's bad because I'm just dead on board. I don't have that much instant speed interaction, but... Sleep with the Fishes would be good. Quaze is okay. Rooftop Nuisance... Passable. Gathering Throng is a good draw. Our Flyers. I think they're thinking, should I just bash here? I think it's not a bad idea to, honestly. Like, they might just go sack the initiate, bash for 3, draw some cards. Yeah, I like it. Yep. Okay, Quasar. Actually, does he even keep us in it? Not really. Should I move this over? Because I can just go Menace. Well, they go Menace here by sacrificing something. I have to double block. Yeah, we just dead. We just died to this, yeah? I can't draw a card anyway. All right, well, let's see if they go for it. I imagine they do. Yeah, if they were less aggressive, which, you know, rightfully so, they were right to make that attack. Quasar might be able to stabilize this. Okay, Dragoons definitely gets us, so we'll concede there. All right, yeah, close game, close game. There is a point back there where I guess like there was that, again, I could have gone for that Revelation, gain a bunch of life. I don't know if we would have been in a better spot though, because then we don't have the Revelation and they have a 4/5 that was attacking us. So, all right, pretty good hand. I'm gonna keep saying it. It's got a 2-drop. It's a pretty good hand. We also got all our colors, which is nice, aside from double blue. There was also that point in the last game, not to dwell on that last game too much, but there was that point I kind of was a bit hasty with the Elspeth when I could have upticked it and left back the flyer. So that might have been a point of contention. They make a treasure. Yeah, let's just we'll just send. All right, nothing. Cool. Yeah. Stimulus package. Okay. Not super threatening. Probably leave this this thing back this turn. Ooh, make disappear. That's a pretty good one. Although the treasures, we'll see how many 1/1s they make, but the treasures might say this card isn't so good here. Yep, I think we just take it. Soloist. Yep. That's really good with Stimulus Package. There's actually a chance I should have countered that. Yeah, I might have been supposed to counter that. Just sack my 1/1, because it's like super, my token here. It's super good with Stimulus Package. And now I'm considering just Metamorphing. I think I'm supposed to, or maybe we could race. No, I think we hold this for a race. I don't think it's good to just cycle it there. All right, let's get in. Now we're just like straight racing. Yep. This. They attack us back for a lot. And now we are, again, the mana situation punishing us a little bit. Because we have multiple blue spells in hand. And a double blue card in our hand. Alright, that's fine. If they want to spend a bunch of removal spells, I'm pretty happy about that. Alright, that's pretty nice. Also, you know what I think? So the crowbar can wake up with this. Once they get rid of these, which they might do this turn, I kind of want to try to see if I can ambush them with the crowbar. They might just make a bunch of 1/1s this turn, is my thought. So this is an interesting spot, right? Because I want to put Sleep with the Fishes on the Soloist, because that's the thing that's attacking us for the most. At the same time, though, I want an opportunity for the Soloist to attack and we ambush. But I think it's unlikely enough that that happens that maybe I should just be tapping the Soloist and just say, okay, that thing's just going to be there for the rest of the game. Okay, I'm going to take a gamble and see if they cash all these things in. Okay, they cash none of them in, which is a bit surprising, but... Okay, so I can do it now, and I think I'm going to, because, you know, if they see the line, which isn't that hard of a line to see, they say this doesn't block, but we do just want to get this thing out of our hand at this point. Yeah, that's fine. Ugh, multiple make disappears. Not good here. It's funny, these have been like really quite... I do like this card, but they've been like pretty abhorrent in our games here. Pretty bad, pretty bad. Looks like they're gonna sacrifice the casualty. Or maybe they're just checking if this removes abilities or something. Yeah, so we need some... We need a big stabilizer at some point, but of some sort, but the problem is these treasures in the soloists really shut that down. Like, no single blocker does it. So, like, we have to, like, kind of chain things. Elspeth would be one of our better draws, for sure. Inspiring Overseer into something... Oh, another soloist? Okay, we're really never blocking ever again. Like, truly not a single time. Yeah, it's a nice little combo. Yep, so we get Bash for 4 here. And I think we need to draw Elspeth now. We go back to 8. And then we still take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, potentially 8 on the crackback. So maybe it's not even enough. I guess we need to equip the crowbar. Okay, that's not Elspeth. Okay. Good game, good game. Okay, well, mono 5 drops. But one of them's very, very good. But we're also on the draw. But we also have all our mana. It's a keep, but like I recognize this could go wrong for sure. Like if they just go Civil Servant here, we're in a bit of trouble. Although that really did help. Okay. Yeah, let us play this and go get a blue source. Well, this can go get white. And we don't need double black, so this should actually go get the blue source. Alright, they play Tap Land. That is good for us. Play Skycrier. Bant. More Bant. They get 2. Revelation of Power. Not amazing here. Okay, so we're just going to play this. I think we're going to trade off here. Or look to trade off. Like, I would like the board to be relatively clear. And, like, obviously they have more coming here. But trading a 2-point life swing for a 3-point, like, them dealing us 3 is just, like, not a good exchange. So we block. Oops, nope, can't do that. Play a Drill Thief. Yeah, it's not so great for us. Ooh, okay. Well, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a tough one. I mean, we're still 23, and Pickpocket catches us up a little bit, but it's still, we're not gonna have a great window to resolve this Elspeth. But then they're gonna have double Throng. We're gonna Pickpocket one of the Throngs. This is gonna be a bit of a later game Elspeth, I think. Oh, they just played that. Okay, we're still not in a position to resolve Elspeth, but it's much better they play this instead of 2 Throngs. So now we can go Girder Goons, and that stabilizes us pretty darn well, actually. Just get Vigilance? It does. I'm always surprised with the new abilities that Elspeth gives. So we can Pickpocket, and then they attack with this, trade. We can Girder Goons. The problem with playing Girder Goons is if they have any interaction, we just fall incredibly far behind. So I actually think I'm just supposed to Pickpocket here. Drawn to some action. That is action-y. Gonna bounce the Speakeasy server. Or maybe I bounce the Jewel Thief. No, Speakeasy server is just... Like, bouncing this is just bad on tempo. Just replay and get a treasure. So... Yeah, let's just pitch a... Revelation of Power, I think. I don't think life is gonna be the deciding factor. Although, this can block the server. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna pitch this. And the next turn we can like blitz this, play this, and be like actually kind of ahead on board at that point. Alright, now they're probably gonna go double Throng, I imagine. Do you have more opponents? More Throngs? You do! Alright. Play a Throng, yeah. Okay. Cool. Alright, now... Yeah, Informant. Potentially dishing the Speakeasy. I guess having a 2-1 is actually not that different than having a... Well, I know it is, because I can trade with that. These are going to bash me, though. I probably do want the Speakeasy, so let's just do this. What's the Goons? I could play Goons as a 4-4 at this point, but I think having the 2-2 here is nice and drawing a new card. Oh, Quasar. That's solid. That blocks. Ooh, they cast a Warm Welcome here. Interesting. Maybe that means they have some really good things to go find. I guess they could also just have a land in hand and, you know, be able to play this. Ooh, Ballroom Brawlers. Okay, that's like mildly annoying, but not too bad. It's gives first strike or lifelink to something. Yeah, and they just play a 5. Server. Okay. Yeah, Infiltrate here. Yeah, we're still just gonna take the damage from this, because especially because Quasar does blanket at some point. Ooh, great draw. Great draw. Okay. So now hopefully we're gonna be able to set up a situation where I'm gonna go for this. I think this turn with the Metamorphosis on something. Try to block. Maybe not if they attack with the Jewel Thief, because that... Well, if they attack with Jewel Thief, I can just put this in front and... Or this in front. And they might go for a trick. I think it's, you know, it's starting to become unlikely they have an interaction spell, especially because I think in this board state they would use it, but we'll see. Maybe they use it now. But I think we're going to be able to use this to good effect here. Falco. Okay, Falco's good. Not busted, but good. 3/3 Flyer Trample. Enters the shield counter. They can cast cards off their library. Not clearly better than playing the Ballroom Brawlers here, to be honest. Ooh, they do attack here, huh? Okay, well, I mean, we can, like, kind of line up blocks in a way that makes it awkward for them. Like, what can they have? +4/+4? They lose this. If they want to trade with Quasar, that's okay. So now I want them to use their trick. And then we can Metamorph next turn to either eat this or this, because this gives things flying too. Because they're gonna be able to lose one thing here or keep one thing. They can't keep both. For the Family is pretty bad though, because that's a lot of damage coming our way, right? There's not really a way I can play around that though. I guess I can do this double block, and then if they do that, we get to keep one of the creatures and cast Metamorph. Okay, I think that's probably what I'm gonna do. Because then the pickpocket survives, or one of them survives, even if they have For the Family. It just happens. Just happens, you say. Okay. Yep, Throng. Maybe they're just pushing damage. I can totally see that happening. Yep, draw a card. Run out of town is pretty good. So we now run out of town this. Can Metamorph. Okay, I like it. I like it. Hopefully they didn't draw anything too impactful here. I think they still could have For the Family. That would, like, minorly wreck us. Adjudicator. Oof. Maybe I was supposed to do this on... Yeah, I was probably supposed to do this on Falco now. Or before. On my turn, right? Yeah, that was a mistake. Okay, so we don't die because we draw a card. But it is pretty bad. And if they have 4 of the family, we die. But what can you do? It looks like they do, I think. Oh no, they're making a decision here. They don't have a pause necessarily. All right, and we do here. We pray. Now they still have a pause, so they probably have it. You draw a draw a card. And they're just like, just cast it, opponent. Just cast it. Make my day. Ah, okay, it was Revelation. All right, close enough. Yeah. Okay, so some tough matches at the end there. I think we started 3-0 and went 0-3, which, you know, is a bit unfortunate, but 3-3, not a bad record for the deck. It was powerful. I could have used a few more, you know, always want those 2 drops, but I did like the deck overall. Let's take a look at it just quickly. Yeah, 3-3 here. So yeah, the other thing that really hurt us, and I you know, we're gonna hammer home once again, is our mana, right? Our mana really, even on the lightest of splashes, really was like we play this out of necessity, these cards out of necessity, but it just wasn't worth it. If I had the option to, I wouldn't have, right? No, you could argue I could play this and this over these 2 cards. That's reasonable too, but I felt like I think that even though as much as I'm harping on the mana being bad, I think playing these cards is even worse probably. So yeah, just, you know, cautionary tale. Have good mana. That's it. Anyways, that's it. We'll have more of these videos coming down the pipeline in the next few days. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the first one. If you liked, you know, be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and yeah, we'll see you next time.